I'm not going to pull a tubing.
We probably
Hey,
should have.
YouTube. Hello.
Yeah, we probably should have told our YouTube our Discord we were going live. Are we
something like
actually
that.
live? Can somebody go check? Did I do it
Okay.
right?
Let me go look.
On the YouTube?
Yeah, it should be on our YouTube page.
I don't know for this.
This is what we do. We don't know what we're doing. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I am not a streamer.
It says you're live. Welcome to our
we're
live show.
Hey,
validation.
YouTube.
Oh, yep, we're live. Look at that. All right,
We
hello.
are live.
All
We
right.
are going to message our Discord to let everybody in our Discord know that we are live. But
yeah, we're gonna do some 40K trivia.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
we'll
there
do
we
like
are.
an intro, an intro. We'll do an intro and everything. Can somebody grab the link and send it to me? I was not prepared.
Sure.
With
I'm
my
on it.
4
For
fucking
what?
monitors, I was not
Sending it to
prepared.
Oops.
There you
I'm
go.
a professional.
There you go, buddy. There's a link for you. Feel special. Feel
Nice.
pretty.
I do. I feel very
Oh.
pretty.
It's still there. I
Yeah.
turned it off.
You're gonna make sure it's not playing the sound part.
Ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen,
it
ladies
was.
and
You gotta mute.
gentlemen.
God,
Live
I'm
stream
so
validation.
sorry, guys. We'll figure this one out. Look,
I'm
going
not.
live
Suffer.
is not easy.
There we go. So we've got the chat open so we can actually see chat. But all right, let's start the episode. All right,
Oh
guys.
my
So
God.
this is a very special. What? Don't make fun of me. I'm already half out. This is a very special episode of Under the Hive of Madness. We have not done one of these in a while. We are streaming live to YouTube. So if you're hearing this in the edited world of the future, we did stream this to YouTube. You can go watch it right now. But this is a very special episode. It's our second Christmas special. It's our second Sanguinilla special for the season. And we are going to be doing some 40K trivia. With all of that on the ground and out there, I'm going to jump into radio personality and intro the show. And then we will talk about all the rules. Are you guys all ready?
Yeah.
Let's do
Yep.
it.
Cool. Welcome. How do I want to do? Do I want to do it that low? Welcome to 665.66 UHMR Chemrat Radio with this special Sanguinilla episode where we're going to be doing some Warhammer 40K trivia. That's really meta for a radio station inside. But I am joined today by 4 special guests. Of course, I will be hosting trivia tonight, as Goblin King, but I'm joined by 4 contestants. My 4 contestants for the day are Drew.
I'm a moose with pancakes on my head.
Emmy.
I'm some kind of swamp creature with a propeller beanie. Very whimsical.
You've got the propeller hat. Chalk.
I'm the little skull there in the space helmet.
And Ickbard.
Who's been
Hi,
struck
I'm a
up-
congressman wearing Groucho Marx glasses.
That's not what that is. Is that what
Yes.
you've decided that is? So
It
the
looks
way
like
that
Matt
the-
Gates to me. I don't know.
I don't see any young women around him.
After the Botox, though. After
After the Botox, I don't see any young girls
after.
around him, though. That's a problem.
Good point. Good point.
So I am as it is the holiday. I am dressed as a Red Gobbo. This is my Red Gobbo cosplay. I promise I'm going to upgrade it. But this is my first cosplay. Everybody that watches and listens to us, I'm doing
Cosplay
one.
debut. Cosplay
Yeah.
debut. Yay.
So
Yeah.
it'll
Pop
get
that
better.
cherry,
You can
buddy.
join
Good job.
me.
It'll
You
get
do
better.
all sorts of bits with the tech priest.
We do the tech priest.
Yeah.
So the way that this trivia game is going to work is that I have split this game up into 3 different. I did it again with 4 fingers into 3 different categories. There are easy questions, there are medium questions, or there's medium rare questions, and then there's hard questions. So the easy questions are going to be things that I deemed to be general 40K knowledge. The medium questions are going to be a little bit harder, and then the hard questions are the things that are like a little bit more advanced or a little bit harder. I think with this crowd, it's going to kind of be a crapshoot. It really kind of depends on how clever I was with trying to trick you guys with the answers. I will admit, when you're trying to come up with a bunch of trivia questions, if you guys have ever done any writing, or if you do any writing, a really good way to come up and test your trivia questions is to run them through a AI filter like ChatGPT or something to see like what answers you're getting back. Running trivia questions through ChatGPT has given me the most hallucinatory answers on questions I have ever seen. Like flat out made up Warhammer lore. In
Wow.
fact, I ran one of the questions. It's not a question I included because I felt it was too hard based on running it through a couple of different times. But in one case, it said that the Rangdag were killed by the Ultramarines on the planet of Nuceria. And I was like, no, none
Yeah.
of that ever happened.
Serious. What?
Yeah. The World Eater's homeworld is where the
Huh.
Rangdag Zetosides happened, according to ChatGPT 5.0.
Huh.
So yeah, I
Hey,
had some interesting experiences this week with AI hallucinations. It's a true thing. I'll tell you guys firsthand, knowing the answers that I was expecting to get and then getting things, I was like, oh yeah, AI is full of shit.
It doesn't matter. We live
Be
in a
warned.
post-truth world anyway. Like,
Mhm.
we'll just make it up.
Just a little bit of
answer long enough.
business. Hey, Gobble,
Yeah.
you might want to tag everybody on your. It did on a post after yours, but you put the link up and didn't do an everyone tag.
Oh, I didn't tell. Oh yeah, yes, Gabo is
Yeah, you're a
very good
goober.
at this. I'm fantastic.
Yeah,
Hey
self-promotion's hard.
folks. It's not.
It really is.
It's
He
trying
just
to
needs
like
to slap his calf.
run like all cylinders and not
I
being
know.
very good at running all cylinders. So yeah, at everyone, we are live on YouTube
Wow, that's very exciting.
right now.
Swear word, swear word, swear word.
Gamer
Yes.
words like Ridge Wallet.
Come
yeah.
watch.
Black Myth Wukong Game of Year.
Are you
Joker
trying to-
2.
Oh no.
Joke, yeah.
Oh,
what?
no.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix is my boy.
All right, there you went. I did the thing. I watched Gladiator 2 this week, by the way. Interesting
How
flick.
was it?
Interesting flick.
I Don't
My
like the
phone
first
just
one. Am I
flick.
going to like this one?
I
As a
don't
matter of fact,
know.
I hate the first one. So
You hate
makes
the
you hate it?
I actually kind of enjoy the first one for like what it is. It from a historical context, it's all bullshit. But from
yeah,
a
it's just
like
garbage.
watching people in sandals beat each other up with swords, it's interesting. And that's kind of the vibe of the second one. The second one, yeah. Interesting
Oh my
film.
God, Subby,
That's all I'm
that's
saying.
right.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that'd be dope. Yes, my queen now has a resurrection ability in chess, and I win. Haha.
There you go. There you
Mhm.
go. All right, guys. Well, if everybody, okay, so the way that this is going to work is we are using a program called Kahoots. Hey guys, there's somebody from Australia. What's going on? How is it upside down and down under?
Hey, Goblet, do you want to lock it so no one else can join?
Australia doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, good point.
I'm full of those.
Good point. So the way that this game is going to work is we're running with a program called Kahoots. All of these guys are in here and they will all be able to answer. I'm going to read the question. I'm going to read the answers, and then I'm going to go ahead and then they're going to have a chance to answer. The program should award them points. Now, on the same time, because we're having fun here, we're also going to be running some special questions. So as an example, our first bonus question, the first question we're actually going to start with here is on screen now. We're going to go ahead and start. These are going to be awarded a separate set of points, and it's largely going to be based on how funny I think the answers are. Whoever gets the biggest laugh is probably going to win. So if you guys want to chime in chat, feel free. So we're going to start off. I want to get a baseline of everybody for the game. So here we go. Bonus question number 1. You are a Tyranid. Purely from a biomass perspective, which billionaire or oligarch do you eat and why? And I may have fucked up the English language there, but it happens. So the way that we should probably do this is by rolling a die. Emmy, do you want to roll a D4? Your one. Wait. What was the order of our players? Yeah, roll a D4 and we'll go in the order of our players. So your 1, Drew is 2, Chalk is 3, Ick is 4.
Hold up,
D4.
I have a D4.
We're not.
You can't buzz in for the bonus question,
Okay.
so we have to go
We're
with the
not
different.
in our offices. This is
All
the
right,
problem.
I do have a D20, and I'll just divide by 5.
Oh no,
I
I
have-
can grab it.
I have
can
a
grab
I have a
D4.
bone D4 made from like animal jaw.
D4.
Ooh.
I rolled a 4.
Okay,
4 is rolled.
so 4 is Ickbard, I believe. So Ickbard, you are a Tyranid. Purely
Okay.
from a biomass perspective, which billionaire or oligarch do you eat and why?
Like in Warhammer, or like can we pull from real world?
I think I
Yeah, of
believe this
course.
is real world, right?
This
Emmy?
is let's call them the modern day High Lords of Terra.
Okay.
I
Yes.
wrote
Okay,
this
I'm-
question,
I
by
have-
the way.
I hope I don't disappoint you with this answer then. Jimmy Buffett, the name's in itself.
Hey, okay, I love it. A Jimmy Buffet. Yeah.
Gonna get me a buffet, Jimmy! Yeah!
Oh yeah, is it an all-you-can-eat Jimmy Buffett? I love it. I fucking love it. All right. Well, are you going to pass it to somebody, Ick, or do you guys want to roll another? Let's roll another D4. Whoever's got it.
All right, hold on. All right, it's a 3.
It's a 3. All right, so that is chalk.
All right. Well, it's obvious. Got to eat Elon Musk because all his fanboys are going to jump into the maceration tube right after him.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It just keeps feeding itself.
Yep.
All right. I like that one. I like that one too. Man, this is already difficult. All right. Emmy and Drew, there's 2 of you left. So let's go with Drew.
All right.
I flipped
okay.
a coin.
Okay, so I am gonna go with I'm gonna travel back in time and I'm going to consume William Howard Taft because he is the fattest president.
Because he's big and fat and has a mustache.
And
He is Mr. Monopoly.
he's Mr. Monopoly. Now, technically, he wasn't a billionaire, but like with inflation and stuff, I'm
With
sure
inflation,
he could
for sure.
Speaking of inflation.
Okay.
be. Yeah.
Speaking
inflate
of
that weight.
inflation.
is that a Taft joke?
Oh,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
They had to
If
build
anything,
yeah.
it was deflation because he lost a fuck ton of weight after his presidency.
That's true.
But did you know that they had to build a special bathtub for him
Bathtub
because he was so
him? Yeah.
fat?
Do you know the
Yeah.
only thing I know about Taft is he was big and fat and had a mustache? That's it.
He
That's
was.
it.
You also need to know that he was a big piece of shit and very anti-union. So
Yes.
Oh
he was
yeah,
very
he was
anti-union.
just such a grade A. Like
There's
maybe
a-
we should regulate the capitalism less.
yeah,
there's a musician named Jonathan Colton, and he has a song about the presidents, and the William Taft he was big and fat and has a mustache. That's his entire line.
Okay, I mean,
Which is pretty
Also
good. I like it quite a bit. All right, Emmy.
oh gosh. Okay, so I am one of those special brain tyrannids. Forgive me, I cannot remember the
Neurolictor?
name of the bioform.
The Zonothrope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the zoanthrope.
zoanthropes. The
Zoanthrope.
zoanthropes. Thank you. So I'm a very big brain tyrannid. My logic here is to eat the Walton heir. I believe his name is Rob Walton.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because at
Okay.
that point I have total control of basically like the world's largest food distribution system, and I can just eat all of the produce and grocery sections of every Walmart around the world, and you know eating the Walton heirs will give me the most food to consume.
There you
Yeah,
go.
That's
Okay.
a great value.
I was.
Hey!
I was originally thinking when you tossed this answer to me, I immediately went with Musk because reasons. But then I
Yeah.
immediately started thinking about it a little bit more, and I'm like, I'd probably actually eat Bezos because like you get to eat the organization too, right? Like how big is
Yeah.
Amazon at this point?
You're
You're just munching on Amazon forever.
Let's be real. Like, we just found out that Musk is on Ozempic and Bezos is stringy as hell. Yeah,
That's
Well, it's
True.
not about eating with Bezos. It's not about eating Bezos. It's about eating Amazon.
Well, yeah, but if you get Musk,
But
you
you
get
also
all his
get-
fanboys.
And you
Yeah.
get all of it.
But then you're eating all his cobalt
endless.
miners, and that's like they got a lot of stuff going on.
You
If
also
anything,
get Blue
I
Origin.
mean, you still need that though. You still need
Oh.
that
If
cobalt
anything-
if you're a Tyranid.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
if I were a Tyranid, I would hold the CEO of Costco hostage so I can keep getting those goddamn
The
hot dogs.
Oh
Yeah,
my
just give me
God,
the
the
weird
hot
little horse
dogs.
stick gun that the Tyranids have. Just hold him like, "Where's the hot dog, bitch?"
There you go.
Where's my shirt?
All right,
No,
chat.
the CEO of Arizona Tea is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I think he's like very low on the list
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
like biomass I'd consume.
All right,
But he's
chat,
on the list.
I need to know, chat.
I mean, they all
Who are you voting for? If you had a vote, who would you go for? I'm
No.
honestly, I think the one that made me laugh the most was Buffett. Jimmy Buffett. It's just
Jimmy
it's the
Buffet?
joke. Yeah, Jimmy Buffet. It's the joke. I don't know, but I want to know. Chat, do you have any opinions? Can you sway me in any way, shape, or form before I award my points here?
I'm a slut for dad jokes. What can I say?
I'm a slut for dad. I'm a slut for hearing them, apparently.
Yeah, there we go.
I like how you cut it for "I'm a slut for dad" and then you took a breath and changed.
That was done on purpose. All right, so as those guys down there are coming up with which of your guys' answers they like the most, we're going to switch back over to the game. Now, again, these first 7 questions, they're split into 3 rounds of 7 questions. These are the easy ones, so we'll see how it
Oh, boy.
goes.
All right.
Kahoot at
Okay.
home. Warhammer
Warhammer
40K trivia night.
Well, this is
Well,
positive.
it's supposedly loading on
Very.
my. There we go.
Yep.
Question
There we go.
1.
What organization serves as the head of the Imperium of Man? So your answers are the Administratum, the High Lords of Terra, the Inquisition, or the Adaptus Mechanicus.
Are we supposed to
wait.
yell it out loud now? Or
Now you're supposed to
no,
click on the answer you think it is.
Yeah. the
oh,
middle
what
top.
is Margaret Thatcher?
What is Margaret there? All right. So one of you got it wrong, 3 of you got it right.
Woo!
We'll
All right.
find out later. Here. Oh, it awards points as it goes. Look at that.
Ah,
Oh, and it must do
That's
it by
the whole
speed.
point of
By
this
speed.
It
game
does.
of Kahoot is
Okay.
that
Okay.
the faster you click in, the more points you get. So
Mm.
even though there's 4 of us, it's still gonna be who's the fastest.
You're in here twice, by the way.
I am, because I had this up on my phone and then it died, and so now I'm
okay.
Coral Pecan and not Emmy. So
Got it. Okay. Well,
Semi-
So
Yeah.
we
Maybe
have
win,
to
by the
we have to make sure you don't cheat and answer before you're finished reading the question.
well, it does seem to give me enough time to read the question, so that's good. All right.
Okay.
So up next, we've got what are the genetically enhanced warriors of the Adaptus Astartes commonly called? Guardsmen, Space Marines, Tau, or Tyranids?
Ken Block.
well, we all got that one. So go us.
Yes. I told you these are the easy ones. The
Adaptus Astartes are Space Marines. For
No!
everybody who was wondering.
And we
Yeah.
don't have when we get to some of the more out there questions, we'll talk a little bit about the lore before we move on. But I feel in these cases, so the first one was a little bit of a trick.
Yes.
So the High Lords of Terra technically are above the Administratum, but the Administratum that's a very tricky question. So yeah, that there are times I did that. Everybody be aware, players and listeners. Which chaos god is known as the Blood God?
Oh,
Zinch,
oh.
Slaanesh, Nurgle,
Feels
or
like a
Khorne?
test. Why'd they make it the green one?
All right,
I
yeah.
know, right? I fucked with stuff. I'm sorry. We're on YouTube. I not demonetized
I think we were
worded
far
stuff.
enough in.
Yeah,
So,
you
we
can say-
are. We are.
So as long as you don't say femboy or Astolfo within the first minute of a stream, you're okay usually.
Okay.
Don't ask me why I know that.
Oh, Drew, look at that
Drew,
hot
3
streak.
correct answers in a row. All right. So up next, we have what is the signature weapon of the Necron Warrior? Your choices are Flensing Talons, Shuriken Catapults, Gauss Flares, or Chem Rifles.
I like how you said that like a Street Fighter character.
Shuriken. That's my favorite weapon in the entire thing is the Shuriken cannon. So if you guys were wondering that the trick there, listeners, was Flensing Talons are technically also a Necron weapon. They're just not
yes,
their
they're not
signature
they're not the
weapon.
signature weapon of the Necron warriors.
yes.
correct.
Yeah,
yes.
what are the
They're-
warriors?
They're the signature
Flares.
weapon of the Necron skin your body and wear you
Yeah.
as a suit.
Sorry, are you guys talking
But
about
now
the
it could also be
Necron
Gauss
Raiders?
Reapers. So I was waiting to see both of them on there.
Gauss Reapers.
Is
What did
is
you?
this that the modern army, the Necron Raiders that are in that one episode of, or one issue of White Dwarf? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah.
They do. The death, not the death. I can't remember what their special cults are. The flare cults are badass.
Yeah, the
I
flare,
love flare
yeah.
cults. What is the home world of the Ultramarines chapter of Space Marines? Your answers are Terra, Macragge, Cadia, or Armageddon. Look
It's
at that.
color
You
coordinated this
guys
time.
are just hot. I told you they're the easy questions, but I honestly thought I would get you guys with it.
Why,
more than
why does
one
it
of
have a
these.
Scottish name? Why does it have a
McCraig.
Scottish name?
Fucking McCraig.
But like Ultramar. Oh, that's not their homeworld.
That's the
Yeah.
realms
That's
of
the realm.
the
Ultramar.
realm, of
Right.
course. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Was that our 7th question?
I
No,
don't
that
know.
was our 5th
No,
question.
fifth
All right.
question, yeah.
So
Let's
question
go.
number 6. What does the orc wah represent? Is it a military tactic, a psychic force, a battle cry and warp energy, or a retreat?
I know it's a battle cry for Wario and Waluigi.
I don't know if I got this one right.
I think
This
I
is
got
one of
this
the
one
ones
right.
that I
Yeah.
thought might trip people up. So who didn't get points? Oh, it
It
looks
was
like
me.
who
Yeah, I
who
went with a
answered?
psychic force.
That was the trick, because technically it's both, but it is their battle cry and their warp energy.
hmm
All right.
The
So
law is like more of a
question-
concept than it
yes,
is
the
like.
concept.
Yeah.
Does this
We're
one?
talking
law.
about orcs. I don't know if concept applies.
The Wah, it flows through us. It's with us.
Yeah, I mean it's
This
kind of
voice-
like the gloom for Gloomspite gets. Again, I'm like the AOS person here.
Yeah.
But the gloom in Gloomspite gets when they're talking about going into the gloom, it's the state of perpetual twilight, but it's also like I think they said in one of the texts it's like a lowercase wa, and I think
Yeah.
that's adorable.
Yes, it's a
It's so
lowercase
cute.
wa because they are the minor greenskins.
Hey,
The orcs
let's not talk shit
have
about
the wa
goblins.
with the big W.
Oh, this
That's right.
not talk
guys.
shit about goblins. Let's not be
Oh.
No, they're
goblinists
referred
in
to
this
as the
spot.
minor greenskins.
As a
Yeah, 'cause
goblin, I am
otherwise you got
offended,
the
sir.
Iron
So
Jaws
we'll
and
we'll,
the
we'll make
Yeah.
sure they avoid the P Diddy party, and we'll
Whoa,
be
whoa,
okay.
whoa! Greenskin is a hateful slur. What are you guys doing here, man?
I say that slur with love.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
you
right.
gotta-
You pinkies are just anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah. One of those
dirty
ones that can
pinkies.
call
Dirty
themselves,
pinkies.
but you can't.
You got to say it with a
Alright.
heart, with a soft "w."
All right, question
Alright,
7.
question
What is the
7.
primary mission of the Sisters of Battle? Protect the warp, serve the Emperor through faith and combat, lead the Astra Militarum, or act as battlefield hospitalers, because apparently I spelled that wrong.
Mhm.
Look at that. You guys all answering. Just watch, you're all wrong. No, you're all right. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Everybody got that
they-
right. All right. Well, that was question 7. So you know what that means. It's time to go to our handy dandy PowerPoint and go to bonus question round 1.
Oh, that's right.
So
These
in
are
this
all
case,
my questions.
they
from
are
the
all your
big
questions.
list.
We are
Yes.
gonna go with order in game. So Ickbard, you get to answer first. When you die, G-Dub has agreed to put your ashes into one plastic model kit. Which kit do you choose and why?
It's going to be the Cyclops demolition vehicle when it goes to plastic, because I love it when things explode. And the fact that I can be essentially a Roomba with a Claymore on top of it is my spirit animal.
All right. I believe Chalk, you are in second
Yeah.
place. So Chalk, once again, when you die, G-Dub has agreed to put your ashes into one plastic kit. Which kit do you choose and why?
It's got to be an old boxy dreadnought because I can serve the Emperor even in death.
Classic answer. Oh man, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard. All right,
And not
who-
any of those new stupid dreadnoughts.
none of those
venerables.
dreadnoughts with knees.
It's got to be one of the boxy boys.
Drew, you are in third. So, bonus question: when you die, G-Dub has agreed to put your ashes into one plastic kit. Which do you choose and why?
Wraith Knight.
Oh,
It's gotta be
man.
Wraith Knight. It's gotta be
Are you appealing to the Eldar player in me right now? Is that what
Nah, I mean,
happened?
my thought was like, hey man, if I'm gonna go into a vessel and live forever, it's got to be in that Wraith Knight, because also they look cool as hell.
There you
And,
go.
and technically, the spirits already serve after death in Wraith Knight.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I would say the new Warp Spider or Phoenix Lord, because I thought that I would die before that happened, but you know, here we are.
You thought you would die before it came out? I
Yeah,
love
before
it.
we got a Warp Spider Phoenix Lord. I thought that that 2070 was probably the best we were hoping for with that one. But here we
Love it.
are. Wow.
There you go. All right, Emmy, you are up with When You Die. G-Dub has agreed to put your ashes into a plastic kit. Which kit do you choose and why?
I'm sorry, but my kit is resin. And there's
Oof.
only one correct answer to this question.
Okay.
And I mean, it is the kit that I don't know how we managed to work it like the references into how many episodes at this point, but it's Party Tit Marathi and her big dick horse.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Party Boob. It's gotta be Marathi with her one titty out on her Pegasus, whom she's also having relations with.
Mhm.
Because that episode was insane.
That
The
was an
model
insane
is
episode.
insane, and the fact that you got it for me and we're putting it together is like, you know, the
Peak.
like
Peak.
bootleg
we
Google
would show
search
you-
trends of
one.
right now with Marathi titty have just skyrocketed right now.
Oh my god,
Party-
guys,
Party-
please go find the vintage. She's like an upsetting vintage, goofy old fantasy model,
She
but
definitely has
she is
some vintage.
she's a freaking icon. Okay, so
The trend has
right.
gone up for that, but for horsecock, it's kept the same.
yeah.
That's
oh my god, I
a
can't
horse
remember
cocks
the
and
horse's name
evergreens
right now, but my
situation.
god, her
Uh,
and that horse almost as bad as her relationship with her son.
Chat, once again, you get to give us your opinion on who won. I have already picked my winner, but give us your winner. I do have to say, we are going to go ahead and give it to you, Emmy, because technically resin. Wow. Technically, resin is a plasticizer, so it counts.
That's right.
I'm
I
going to
mean,
count
yeah.
it. I'm going to count it.
I mean, then
mean,
mine
but
would.
you know
yeah,
what I
'cause otherwise
mean.
mine wouldn't count.
Like
'cause-
this isn't one of those high detail
Fine
modern
cast,
plastic kits like
Yeah.
we have and we love now.
Right. Drew, as a little production thing, can you move the mic just a little closer to you?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. All right, we are getting into our medium questions.
Oh,
Little medium spicy. So
Mhm.
question number 8. What is the name of the ancient weapon used by the Satan to shatter stars? The World Engine, the Blackstone Fortress, the Celestial Orrery, or the Star God Spear? All right.
Darn.
So time for a little bit of lore. First off, Shock is the only one who got it right.
Yep.
The Celestial Orrery is
I can answer this one. I got it
Yeah.
right.
go for it.
Okay.
Give us the lore.
Okay, so an orrery traditionally is a old school like map of our solar system, right? Like on gears and all that. The celestial orrery is what the Necrons have on some hidden world. I don't know if we know what world it's on. And it maps out the entire universe. And you can simply go up and you see a star and you go up and you like poke it and the star goes away.
Yep.
That's it. That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, they can like reach in and move planets and like it's an insane When we get to the War in Heaven, we will definitely talk a little bit more about it. And that is coming up. That's our next major history period we're covering. So all right. Next question. Question 9. If I know how to count, I do know how to count. What is the primary purpose of the Astra Militarum's commissars? Command large battalions, ensure morale and discipline, maintain supply lines, or coordinate planetary defenses. Oh, look at that. Everybody got that one right.
I thought it was to shoot people in the back as they run away.
Morale officer.
That's what he said. Maintain morale. Pew, pew.
through any means. Which Chaos Space Marine Legion is associated with relentless warfare and siegecraft? The Word Bearers, the Iron Warriors, the Alpha Legion, or the Night Lords? This might actually be a relatively easy one because we've been talking about all this stuff recently. I did not realize that when I wrote these. Somebody hasn't answered yet.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
I told
All
you I
right.
was answering too quickly.
Who? Emmy? Night Lords? Night Lords.
I
You're fine.
know it's
You're
like
fine.
terrorism, but I was like, oh, I don't know. It's all
got-
combat.
Yeah, and yeah, the way that I put the pictures, I'm trying to deceive, so it's fine. I get it sometimes. All right, next up, what is the term for a human with psychic abilities in Warhammer 40k? A psyker, a warp seer, a magos, or a sorcerer? I was totally a dick here, by the way. Good,
I mean,
good,
that
good job,
was-
guys. But seriously, all of those words are used.
That's true.
But I don't think they're all
Only-
used for humans.
They're all
Yeah.
used for humans,
Even-
but only one of them is the technical designation.
Oh, okay.
Magos.
Magos is
Magos is
is-
a title.
oh,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
okay.
title it's usually given to the priests of Mars, though,
Y-
and they aren't
Mhm.
necessarily. Matter of fact, are any of them?
They'll call barbarian people from barbarian worlds often use the term Magos, hedge wizard, or sorcerer.
Okay.
it's
Oh, yeah,
also-
yeah.
It's also a title for Gene Stealer Psychers, or it was like Old War.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
you
I,
can
I
Like
thought
Magos
warp
was
seers were
Duquesne.
Eldar.
Yep. Yeah, warp seers definitely feels like it's one of those. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing it on. I'm trying to confuse. Trying to confuse. I don't. I don't run
That
a
one
trivia
didn't
night.
confuse us. And Ryan's gone.
Who is the Primarch of the Dark Angels chapter?
Oh, really, Ryan? That's difficult.
My dad.
My father.
Daddy. Oh wow! Looks like we got it.
I
I'm
guess
just
we're-
trying to imitate Ryan.
we-
Oh
we-
no,
we
he's
have to
gone.
wait.
Gone.
He's gone,
What?
gone. And our
Ryan?
quiz
Wait
has
for Ryan to
gone
come
with
back.
it.
No.
Well, we're
Stream is
everybody,
still going? Question mark.
Yes.
Oh,
live recording.
there he is.
There we go.
Yes, he's
Cool.
back. Hey.
All right. So I'm sure
Hey.
you guys continued to talk and entertain everybody. but
No,
yeah.
no, we were at a
Absolutely.
loss without you.
I showed them all
I
my
did-
butthole.
I did not.
You're Chaos
I did
Star?
not think that this.
Yes,
I did
what
not
do you-
think
hold
that
on, what
this
did you say,
question was gonna be
Emmy? It's
difficult,
chaos.
Oh,
Star?
yeah. I mean, I say that all the time to him. Like, oh, I can see
It
your
winked at
Chaos
me.
Star. Your
Wow.
Chaos Star just winked at me. If you want to use that one, please, by all means.
Now I feel like I have a butthole tattooed on my arm. Thank you, Emmy.
Sorry.
It's
So
fine.
this is like
I'm
everybody.
also the one who says Horus Harussi all the time, and has
You
just
are.
got us all
are.
talking about the Harussi.
If it,
Everyone's
makes,
like,
if it makes you feel better, I spread Horussi whenever Handy streams as well. I always say it in chat.
I love it.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I
you
knew-
for keeping the Harussi alive.
I don't
I-
want to think about you spreading your Harussi
Harussi.
myself.
So I knew for a fact that Chalk was going to get this one right, and I had a
Hmm.
good feeling that Emmy was going to get this right, but I honestly didn't know. Like, this was one of the ones where I'm like, this is either going to be one of those ones where everybody's going to be like, seriously, Ryan, or that I'm going to get 4 different answers.
I had to read it a couple times to make sure
Just
that
to make
you
sure I
actually
wasn't
said
fucking with
Dark
you.
Angels.
'Cause there's also
And
the
not
Blood Angels
the
that I
Dark
was
Angles?
like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm thinking
was-
Sanguinius, but no. Mm-mm.
I read it, but I read it as chapter master in my head. So wait, that's not that guy. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, no, I was
can
like,
see how that trip
that's
you.
Pedro Cantor.
I
At
can see
one
how
point,
that trip you too.
Lumen Russ was the chapter
Right.
master of the Ultramarines. If you go back far enough and look under enough rocks, so
Hmm.
Indeed, and fan fiction.
All right,
Yeah.
and fan fiction. There we go.
Mm.
I'm assuming we're back up in streaming. It looks like we
Yeah.
are. It looks like Semi said riot when I dropped connection.
Correct.
All right. So question number next: what type of Xenos are known for using biological weaponry and hive fleets? The Orcs, the Tyranids, the Drukari, or the really, guys? I
Really?
didn't even finish fucking.
Sorry.
But it was
this-
all of them.
Why was
but
this in the medium spicy category?
because it's one of those things where like we're kind of at like I thought about doing really hard ones and I was like no, because some of these literally only I know the answer to.
We're gonna get rinsed when it comes to the hard ones. Go, Ryan, please.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan.
All right. Question
All right.
14.
Yeah.
What is the name of the ancient Eldar craft world destroyed by Slaanesh?
Hmm.
I got the wrong one.
Ugh, it's not Ulfway. That's the only craft world I
Iodine?
think I know.
Beltane, Komora.
Oh,
Yep, I got it wrong.
I got it right.
Altansar. Okay.
Yeah. So
I thought
it should've been-
Altansar.
It's obvious. It should have been one that I know nothing about.
So
All
Chalk
right,
is the only one
Chalk.
who got it right?
Yeah.
Chalk,
all right.
do you know the
I
lore
did-
behind it?
I didn't know the name. I sort of knew
Okay.
the lore behind it, but I knew that I knew it wasn't Beltan. I knew it wasn't Yendon, because they're still talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
the reason
Yandon's
they're still
dying.
talked about. So the reason so here's the short of it. Altanzar was a small craft world that survived the fall of the Eldari, but it didn't actually escape the Eye of Terror. So it
That's
survived
right.
and started fleeing and was captured. The only person who got off the planet was the Phoenix Lord Magna Ra, who we haven't talked about
Mm.
yet. But basically, yeah, it just really, really, really bad set of circumstances mixes into the 13th Black Crusade. We're definitely going to cover it in a lot more detail in the future. But yeah, guys, that was
Can I
that
ask
was the
a
end.
question that may lead you down like a total rabbit hole
Yeah.
and a tangent real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
So the Emperor's children, right?
Right.
Fulgrim, the Fulgrossi.
The
He
Fulgrossi.
has his Phoenix warriors. And he
Okay.
spends a good amount of time chatting. Shit. Sorry guys, I'm still got this cough. Chatting
Oh my
with
God.
the God, what's his name? The Phoenix Lord, the Elf Phoenix Lord at that right around the Horus Heresy times, who's like, hey, I just used my psychic elf powers. Horus rebuked dad. Like, do the Phoenix warriors that belong to the Emperor's children have anything to do with the Phoenix warriors?
No. So the Fulgrim, one of Fulgrim's nicknames was the Phoenician.
Ah, right, because the
Big-
Phoenician
yeah.
and the Gorgon.
Right. So
Yep.
the Phoenix Lords from the Eldari are the leaders of each aspect. And the reason that they're called Phoenix Lords, here's a little bit of the rabbit answer I'll give you, is the soul stones that are in their armor capture their soul when they die. And then whoever puts on their armor next literally gets inhabited by the spirit of the former.
Oh, so
Phoenix
it's like
Lord.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Down to at one point, I cannot remember which Phoenix Lord it was, but his armor was like left on a desiccated battlefield and picked up by a guardsman who put it on, and the guardsman became an Eldari. Like his body completely changed, was completely consumed and reborn as an Eldar.
That's
So-
wild, man.
Soul stones are powerful things.
Oh yeah, soul
I want to see
stones
how that
will
works on a necrodermis.
mess you up. Probably doesn't. Necrodermis cheats. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So round 2 bonus. I apparently did not rename the slide, so it still says round 1 bonus, but I promise it's a new question. The Imperial Guard find an SDC of a new tank. Being the creative lads that they are, they name it after a Primarch. Which Primarch gets the honor, and what does the tank look like? And Chalk, you get to answer this question first.
They name it. They name it after Fulgrim.
Okay.
This is a flamer tank. It has one
Oh my god.
giant flame cannon
Is it a wiener?
and 2 huge round
Is it a-
reservoirs
is
of
it a wiener?
promethium on the back.
It's a wiener, isn't it?
Oh. It did say that.
It's yes, it's a wiener.
This tank is a wiener. Oh my god.
And it burns when it pees.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I
Well,
had
you're
I was laughing
Apt.
too hard to make that joke.
No,
But
no,
yes, it burns
it burns.
when it pees.
There you go. All right. Ickbard, you are up next. The Imperial Guard find an oh my god. The Imperial Guard find an STC of a new tank. Being the creative lads they are, they decide to name it after a Primarch. What Primarch gets the honor, and what does the tank look like? And you cannot use giant dick.
That's fine. What if I use a tiny dick?
Is it that
So,
Kurz one?
There's
Is
an
it the
easy
Conrad
answer here.
Kurz?
It's obviously the convertible tank, open top, call it Ferris Manus. We're not stooping that low. Animals to sabotaging one of yours. I hope.
Oh,
We're not going to go with that one. That's easy. That's
Oh
cheap.
my god.
Cheap, easy, and we're not talking about me today. So we're going to go with Vulcan.
Oh,
Okay.
And that's because the Malkador Infernus, the model is no longer being sold on GW. So obviously that means they're making the Vulcan Flamer tank. And it is
Right.
going to be the Malkador Infernus, but slightly bigger with more
Okay.
flamers. And it has a little button. You push it. It has the Emperor text speech. I wanna boop the snoot. Whenever you hit it.
Gotcha.
Now, is that on the model and it actually says
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
I want to point
Yeah,
out that
part.
Fulgrim is the only flaming Primarch.
I don't know. They're sanguineous.
I mean, technically, one of
Sad
them's
game,
obsessed
more
with
or
fire.
less.
All right, Drew, it's over to you. The Imperial Guard find an STC of a new tank. Being the creative lads that they are, they name it after a Primarch. Which Primarch gets that honor, and what does the tank look like?
Okay, this is the Conrad Kurz, and it's all black. It has a big jet engine in the middle.
That faces forward or backward? Is this
the wrong
propulsion or-
direction.
Okay.
And it's got kind of like ribbed wing like flare things coming off of it, and a big yellow oval with a black deflator mouse in the middle there.
I'm
So, yeah.
getting
It's the
heavy
Batmobile.
Batmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's the Batmobile.
I love it.
Conrad Kurz because he's Batman.
Yeah.
He's gonna drive around his Batmobile. A
I'm
Batman.
Batman.
Whenever I think about that, I just have. What's the
Swear to me.
the little comics, the little web comics where you've got the Batman who's always like beating up the villains with his by teabagging them by sitting on their faces.
Oh, I
Uh,
haven't been to that
oh
part
my
of the
God.
internet, Chuck. I'm not allowed.
Is
I
to
this
can't
part
be
of
the
that
only
anymore.
one that gets this.
No.
reference.
Is this an
Bat Metal.
Instagram feed recommendation?
It's Bat Metal. It's all the Deathlock songs that the guy animated a bunch
Yes.
of Batman stuff to. Yeah,
Okay.
and there's a scene in it where he goes in the Deathlock song. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's literally Batman teabagging the dudes that he just beat up on the ground.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, the animation's pretty good and it's pretty hysterical.
And
Mm.
that's what I always think about with Conrad Kurtz.
Yeah, no, that's a,
And
yeah,
that
the
voice,
Bat
I
Metal
hear his voice
as the
in the
Deathlock
voice from
guy.
that character. Yes.
We have a new tagline for the Night Lords: "Twerk to victory."
Twerk to victory. Jesus. All right, Emmy. The Imperial Guard find an STC of a new tank. Being the creative lads that they are, they name it after a Primarch. Which Primarch gets the
Alrighty.
honor, and what does this tank look like?
It is a chaos tank.
Okay.
This is the Magnus tank,
Okay.
and this tank can only be operated by psychers. There's no windshield, okay? Everything is just a periscope. The one eye, it's sort of
Mhm.
like a star above
Mhm.
Oh my
everything.
God.
It's and it's also all red. The tank has a more melee than you would expect. It's got these two kind of curved titty horns on the front.
Ramming
And-
speed.
Mhm.
I don't know, like in some like Prosperian hieroglyphics on the side, it says "Taste the Magnusi." And yeah, and I don't know. I think probably like all
Taste of
5
the
pieces of
Magnusi.
Exodia could like fit in the back for the Yu-Gi-Oh vibes. And I feel like-
Including the third leg of Exodia.
yeah,
No,
the
no,
third
no,
leg of Exodia,
Yeah.
which is just Kaiba's big dick.
Yeah,
The hunter killer missiles of
Kaiba.
winged Karibo.
there are no bad.
Oh no,
What?
did we lose Ryan
Oh
again?
no, what happened?
Oh no.
So- Real talk, I thought you were gonna say like, oh, it's the Magnus. It does nothing wrong. It hits and saves on 2s and wounds on 2s,
Well-
and all 1s are considered 2s.
Yeah, and I mean, like, in terms of its special rules, it has the psychic phase, and it does get to it does get to make a lot of hit rerolls. In fact, all of them. Because yeah, Magnus did nothing wrong.
Damn
Did
right.
we lose
I-
Ryan again? I don't
am I
see
back?
him.
Ryan's
It's-
coming back, yeah.
yeah.
Can
He's
you
coming
hear
back.
me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you, and
I
Just
swear
can't hear you.
sometimes I could hear his voice.
your shared screen is still up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
not know what the hell is going on. My camera apparently decided to stop working.
Huh.
And of course, this is happening during a live.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course,
Camera's
of course.
crashing probably.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys can keep talking, so I'm gonna refresh and figure
So
out.
if you guys go over to the general what do you call it
This is gonna be
channel
a nightmare to
on the Discord, I've got a picture of Bat Metal up there, which is my
Would
how
one
I
of
always
you
see
guys
Conrad Cruz.
mind too terribly pasting the link to the Discord in chat? If you are here live on YouTube
yeah.
and want to check out our Discord, it's
Let's
sort
get
of the
an
home of the
invite.
podcast. Everything can be found over there. All of our painting contests,
Okay,
as
edit.
well as information about the Patreon, where we do all kinds of exclusive video content like this
Okay.
for you guys every single week.
So this, I just put up a an invite to the Discord that is unlimited and does not expire.
Perfect. Yeah. We
So,
should just put that in all of the places where one could find links to the Discord. There you go.
Could I just ruin the Bat Metal photo for you guys real quick?
Can you guys see everything again? By the way,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you look at that
apparently
photo-
there's an update to the Brio, and the Brio is causing problems with Riverside, which would
Ugh.
have been great to have known before we started recording, but they just told me about it
Amazing.
now.
Well,
Woohoo.
we're trying.
Yeah.
Rio.
Let me let me ruin that
4K
Bat
camera.
Metal photo. He's mewing like a decade before mewing became a thing.
Yeah,
He's doing the
that,
Did you
you
share
know
a
that
picture
doesn't
of
ruin it. That just makes it even more like Conrad Cruz,
Is there a picture?
because
There-
Conrad Cruz
It's in
is
the
a
it's in
little,
the announcements.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys put it in announcements. That's a good place for it.
Yeah.
Did you put the invite to the Discord in the announce? No. Oh, yeah.
in the
Yeah.
chat.
No, that's yeah, I love it. Oh, I see it right there. Oh, cool. Look at that.
Yeah,
All right,
it's this fella.
again, everybody, go ahead and vote for whose answer you liked the best. And while you are figuring out your votes and doing all that, we'll switch back over to the game, and we will go into our hard
mode.
questions.
Oh,
Ooh,
hard
boy.
okay.
mode. Which
What
these
is
are
a
either gonna
melee
be-
focused Tyranid called?
What is the full name of the weapon known as the Black Sword wielded by the Black Templars Emperor's Champion? The Black Sword of Dorn, the Sword of the High Marshal, the Crusader's Oathblade, or none? It is simply called the Black Sword.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. All right.
Oh,
Nope.
So it is just known as the
The
Black, Sword.
Huh.
Cringe.
the first one I've missed.
Fucking nerds.
That's because
Fucking
there's a lot
nerds.
more than one of them.
Hmm.
There's no special lore there. There's more than one Black Sword. There's not
Okay.
a lot of them, but there's more than one Black Sword.
Well, now I
All
think of
right.
it, because they have lost it before.
Yeah. Which Primarch disappears after the Siege of Terra, his final whereabouts currently being unknown? Corvix Corax, Alfarius Omegon, Jakatai Khan, or Rogel Dorn?
Literally all of them.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, like
No,
all
go
only
with
one
that
of
one.
we
Nope.
know. All right. So we know that a couple of these guys have died, but
Dorn is
Jakatai specifically was chasing down Drakari out of Komarong
Yeah.
and disappeared into the
Mhm.
webway.
Corvus
not the
disappeared
webway,
into the
warp
warp.
and
And
into the warp,
Rogel,
yep.
Rogel's dead.
No, he's
Cor-
not.
He's
Corvus.
His
No,
Corvus
they only
hand
have
is
his
somewhere.
hand.
That's
not.
Vulcan.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
It's not his hand.
And-
It's Jesus' hand.
Jesus, it's Vecna's hand.
Well, we know it's not Alfarius Omegon because he's either dead or not dead and still out there participating in the Black Crusade. So
Yeah,
we know he's
Jagatai
around.
Khan just went like yeehaw into the webway.
But I
Yeah.
thought
Yep.
Corvus
Jakatai is the one. that-
was supposedly maybe fighting in Cormorant in the gladiatorial pits, but that isn't known. He just sort of disappeared into the warp.
He
Yeah.
turned into the Raven God.
The only one that there isn't a this guy is most likely dead is Jakatai. And that's kind of the trick of this question. The only one where there
Well,
is
Alfarius Omegon
probably
is
still alive.
allegedly everything. So.
well, Alfarius is dead. Omegon is
Omegon is the one who's
technically alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Unless neither of them died. And
Well,
Yeah,
did we
and-
find
and
out that
Alfarius
they're all
died.
alive?
unless the Alfarius that died in the Praetor of Terra was not Alfarius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it
exactly.
was
But in
Alfarius.
lore, supposedly he's dead.
No,
And
I
they say it in
still don't
Alfarius'
agree
book.
with that one. I say it could have also been. We don't know where Korax is, and we don't
Yeah.
know that he's dead.
Nah, he's
So-
haunting Lorgar. He's trying to get the Lorgussi.
Corva, there is that the theory on Corvus is he's dead. The question is playing with who out of those is the one who could come back, essentially.
They can all
That's
come
Mr.
back.
Khan.
Well, you are correct. Which legion was responsible for destroying the world of Monarchia, leading the word bearers to fall to chaos? The Iron
Give
Hands,
me Iron Warriors.
the Orin Hands. Sorry, I misspelled it. The Ultramarines, the Imperial Fists, or the White
Oh my
Scars.
god, I know this though.
You guys should all know this. We've talked about
I
this
do
a
know
lot.
this.
I know.
4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2. Oh my god, nail biting. All right, who got it wrong?
Me.
And somebody else got it wrong.
Me. I said
But we
the
were
Imperial
talking about
Fist.
the White Scars right around this time as well.
And,
We were.
and
It
the
was
Fist.
the
White
the
Scars are
Ultramarines.
doing
Yeah.
stuff with Magnus at this point, I think.
Yep. All right. What led the Necrons entering into their 60 million year slumber so they could return later and dominate the galaxy?
Being
The
awesome.
Eldari replacing the old ones, the birth of the man who would become the emperor of mankind, the awakening of the Satan, or the enslaver's plague? Oh my god, 1 second. How did it? Whew.
Oh,
Did you guys all get it wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, everybody
Nope.
got it wrong.
Everybody got it wrong. What? No, we all got it right.
Nope, everybody
No.
got it wrong.
It's not the
everyone
right-
got it
enslaver plague.
wrong.
The enslavers were out there before they went into slumber.
You are correct. However, the Necrons under the Silent King decided to go into their 60 million year slumber because there were no races in the galaxy worth dominating.
No,
and they
did
decided,
not.
hold
They-
on.
No, you are wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I am not. And
You
I
are
will get the
100%
book.
wrong
I
on
will
this
get the
one.
book and read it to you.
You have to go get the book because no, they went into sleep because the ascent of the Eldari and the Silent King talks about this. And I'm going to have to find that one, but he talks about how they cannot they're going to go into sleep until the Eldari fall from grace and the Quark fall from grace and they could come back and dominate the galaxy.
No.
Yes.
They
yes.
go to sleep because there is not enough nice, like highfalutin enough races to dominate. They
real
decide
with you,
that
Ryan.
the enslavers have destroyed too much of the galaxy. They're going to let the Eldar and the Quark deal with the enslavers, and then they're going to come back later when the galaxy has repopulated itself.
you
That's
are
what the
first
Silent
person I'd
King
ever
says.
heard say this.
What's up?
You are the first person I'd ever heard say this.
That the enslaver plague is the reason they went to sleep?
Yes.
This is in Chalk's defense, this is a very tricky question because the Necrons leave the galaxy to the Eldari, knowing that the Eldari will fix the problems that they don't want to deal with, and that they can come back later to take over. They don't think that the Eldari or the Quark are a real threat to them. They just don't see that there's enough value in the galaxy to dominate anymore. So the trick there is, yes, Chalk is correct. We are going to let the Quark and the Eldari fix the universe for us because the enslavers have fucked it up. And that's the core. The enslavers made a mess that we don't want to deal with. We're going to let these other two races fix it while we sleep. But why is the real core of where they went to sleep? Because they're afraid of the Eldari and the Quark? No, they're letting the Eldari and the Quark clean up their mess. They
The Eldari and
legitimately
the Quark
say,
were created to fight and kill them.
right, and they lost. The Necron destroyed the Satan and destroyed the old one. Well, destroyed the old ones. In the biggest air quotes you can possibly put on that. The Necron win the war in heaven.
Yeah.
That's the core. The Necron win. The Necron don't go to sleep because they're afraid of the Eldari and the Quark. The Necron go to sleep because they don't want to clean up after the enslavers. We'll get
I
into
really
more of
don't-
why.
I really remember like back in like 5th edition it being different.
The Enslaver Plague is like a 3rd edition thing.
Yeah, but I don't remember the lore from the 3rd edition. I remember it from a little bit later, and I swear
Even like
that's what it was.
on the just the Warhammer 40K wiki, which I appreciate can not always be correct, but it's like the 3rd
Hallucinatory
paragraph where they
information.
say the enslaver existence was also one of the reasons why the Necrons entered into the Great Sleep at the end of the War in Heaven, the 60 million Terran years before before they killed off all the sentient life, blah blah blah. But yeah, basically they are reiterating what Ryan is saying as well.
The quote
Yeah.
that I'm going after, and I can dig it up and share it again and share it officially, is that Silent King. There's a I'm pretty sure it's a Silent King, but there's a conversation happening, and he basically goes, "There's not enough life worth dominating in the galaxy. We will return later," which would highly suggest, with everything else going on, the enslavers wrecked the galaxy, and it's not worth our time. Like that's what they say. He's saying the enslavers fucked it up. I don't want to clean it up. I'm gonna let the Eldari and the court clean it up. which, as Chalk says, could also be what he's saying. It could be the saving face of the Eldari are too powerful and will destroy us. But I don't think that's in the ego of the Necron to admit that. I think the ego of the Necron is, I don't want to clean up the mess I created. I'm going to make somebody else clean it up for me.
This is how I remember it. Once again, this is also from the 40K wiki, where it says the Necrons understood that the mantle of galactic dominion would soon pass to the Eldari, one of the cyclically potent races that fought alongside the old ones throughout the war.
But that is
and
after
thus came to hate the Necrons.
That's after they had mastered the material universe, the Necrons. And that's after the Necrons had specifically destroyed large parts of the webway, allowing the enslavers to spread more. So
Yes,
saying that we understand so the way that I would take that passage you just read is, we understand that if we go to sleep, the galaxy will not fall entirely to the enslavers because the Eldari are around to clean up our mess.
Oh, no, that's not how I read it at all. I read it as the Eldari are on ascension and are a threat to us. So we will go to sleep until they fall, and then we will wake up, which is exactly what happened.
But that's not, it's not, because if
The Necrons woke up.
the Necrons
after
woke
the
up
fall
about
of the
10,000
Eldari.
years after
But
about 11,000 years.
They wake up early because of the humans, though.
They wake
Only
up early
some of
'cause
them
people
wake
are
up early, but the
poking them.
majority of ones are coming up after Slanesh manifests and destroys the majority of the Eldari. So that's how I have always read the lore.
As an Eldar player, I have never read any of this stuff as the Eldar were an actual threat to the Necron. But this is all stuff that we will explore in detail in our War in
somebody
Heaven
who's-
series.
Who has been a Necron fan, I've always read it that they were afraid of the Eldari and they went to sleep until the Eldari time had passed.
Again, the way that I'm almost 90% sure, based on the couple of quotes it's supposed to be taken, is they left the mess to lesser races and they would come back later.
Hey, Drew, Emmy, are you two ready to field couples therapy for these two? 'Cause I feel like there's a lot of unresolved
We're both really
tension.
old and we both argue about old lore shit.
If we keep going, it won't be good content. Let's go.
What world was Armageddon originally before the Mechanicus teleported it? Olinar, Calth, Ishtvan 6, or Tolaran?
I like how you added an extra A to Talarn. It makes it fancy.
Tolaran? Tolaran's
Yeah.
Tallarn.
That was gonna be.
I'm
I got it down to
almost
2, and that was
positive
gonna be
that's
my other
Tolerant.
guess.
Mhm.
But ugh,
Talarn.
Tolaran.
You keep adding an A to it.
Tolaran is Tallarn.
Yeah. I'm saying you spelled it right. I'm saying you're pronouncing an extra A.
Yeah, you are. You're
Tolaran. Oh, I'm putting an
Taller.
urn. Taller urn.
It's like how
I have
would say
never
iron.
every single pronunciation I have ever heard, it's been Tolaran. I've never heard somebody say Talarn.
No, neither have
okay.
I. Talarn. I've never heard it as Talarn.
But that's
Which is
interesting.
what
You are
I've heard it as
correct.
Talon.
Yeah, but both the English speakers and the American speakers that I've ever heard pronounce it say Toleron. But yeah, you're right. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Those good old cetaceans.
So this has come up, right? Those good old cetaceans. This has come up a bunch of times recently in
Cheers,
chat,
Mitch.
which is why I thought it might be a little easy because we've been talking about it a lot. But I thought maybe it'd throw you guys off a little bit. But yeah,
I remember us talking
Olenor,
about it recently.
Olenor was teleported and became Armageddon.
Mm.
Now the interesting thing, because I'm doing the Beast Arises series, I'm rereading the Beast Arises series right now. They're talking about Olenor, and they talk about Olenor as being this like, oh no, it's this special planet that our special space daddy fought on. How could the orcs go there? And I'm like, because it's the closest thing that the orcs have to a fucking homeworld.
Yeah.
Like, I realize you guys fought and won there with Space Daddy, but like it was legitimately the orc homeworld. That's why the orcs are there. But the Space Marines just can't conceive of the fact that like they would go violate the pristine what do they call them? Not paradise worlds, shrine world of Olenor. And it's like, because it's their fucking planet. That's why. It's just interesting. It's interesting how the Imperium justifies shit in its head. In the last days of the Great Crusade, Horus's Mournival was made up of Ezekiel Abaddon, Little Horus Axamon, Gravriel Loken, and Erebus, Tarek Torrigon, Big Horus, Rictus Sanchez, or Nivian Doombringer.
Oh, God.
Like, oh, my big horse.
Did you like Rictus Sanchez? I feel
Yeah.
like okay. I'm
Come
hoping
down
that
to
was
big
the
horse's
obvious.
used car lot.
I was hoping that was the obvious. Who didn't answer?
I didn't. I was
What
just
the fuck
hovering
said
over Tarek
Erebus?
when it cut out.
I did.
You said it was Erebus?
Because
Yeah,
of the
they're-
thing that happens at the very end when they're hanging out with the Mournival. So
Yeah. Oh no, that yeah.
They're kind of the
I
outs
played.
at this point.
I played fast and loose, knowing some of the fiction that's out there, and then I threw in a ringer just to see if anybody would catch it. And Ick starts laughing immediately.
I did
so.
like Rick Sage.
Rictus Sanchez is my new favorite
yes.
Sons of Horus.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's like Pedro Cantor.
yeah, he's in
energy.
the Crimson Fists for sure.
What is the religious text penned by Logard that the first saint Euphrates Keeler used to found the imperial cult? The Testament Veratus, Testament of Truth, the Codex Astartes, the Letitio Divinitas, or the Clotted Scrolls?
Clotted Scrolls goes hard.
Damn it.
Very nice. All right, guys. Well, we are going to figure out. Oh, it does.
Yay,
Oh, it does. Third. Drew
Drew.
got third. Ickbard got
Woo!
second. And Chalk got first. However, we have not mixed in our silly answers, so I need a second to write
God,
down
look at the
everybody's
point difference, though. That's
scores.
pretty insane between you and I, Chop.
Yeah, it's,
That's really close.
440.
I did get robbed on that Necron.
You and I both did. We both got robbed.
Man, you guys are. I made the quiz. My answers are right now.
Listen,
All
Linda.
right. Round 3. Hey, I renamed this damn slide round 3 bonus questions. So to get those last couple of extra points, you get the pick of the big versus flagship box for the start of 11th edition. What are the two factions and do they have new units? Now, normally we've been going for silly. However, this time let's go for serious. And we will go with Chalk first.
The one I would like, it would definitely be Imperium versus Chaos.
Okay.
I don't think we can have a big versus box without having. I don't think GW will release a box without having Space Marines as one of the two factions, unfortunately. You know, the flagship box, you know, it's like Ultramarines versus Tyranny. You know, there's always a Space Marine. So we'll default them. They'll do Space Marines with one. And I'd like them to do Chaos Space Marines as the second one, because I want to see the continuation of the Indominus Crusade. And for a faction, I'd like them to do Dark Angels and probably versus Black Legion.
Okay.
That's the OGs right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, I just the reason why I do it. Sorry, I'm just going to say this is that I think that GW starts these storylines and then doesn't finish them. They used to finish them with having like they might have like like a points battle with like everybody could play out the battles and then that would determine how things go on. They started the Ultima Crusade in 9th. Was it 9th edition?
Yeah.
It was 9th edition. And it's just hanging there. They had some books that came out, and then we'll go fight the Tyranids. And I would just like them to move that storyline forward.
Got you. Okay.
Even though I'm not a huge 40K Space Marine fan,
You just want to see it move.
yeah, because I think that's the like what's happening in the Imperium Noctis and all
Right.
that. I'd like to know. That's why I want to do Dark Angels.
Cool. All right. Ickbard.
Hi,
You get
that
to
is
pick
I.
the big versus flagship box for the start of 11th edition. What are the two factions, and do they have new units?
Okay, so Black Chalk says one of them has to be Space Marines if we're actually being serious about it. I'm going to say it's Space Marines versus Leagues of Votann for two solid reasons. I wanted to be the Iron Hands and against the Votann because both of them have highly underdeveloped model lines for cool stuff. We have Iron Father Fieros or Ironfire Fieri if you go around my circles. He's a 4-year-old sculpt, still new, but we don't really see him much. So if we push him, we push him with a potential Gravis Tech Marine, I think that would work really well. Then we could also have the Votann with their already limited model line be able to bulk it up. There's even a story plot line we can play in here. The Votann are stealing resources from an AdMech mining world, and the Iron Hands are called in to deal with them because they need to have a shock troop push in and push through, and they already have good relationships between the two of them. So we have a resource war between very similar mindsets with very strong industrial firepower in their themes. It has a great thematic bearing. It gives a little bit of love for Iron Hands to actually have some lore, and it gives Votann some new models.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That'd be cool.
Do you think we're getting new Votann models in 10th?
Yes, we are. They said we are when the Codex comes.
Very
Notice how the Codex is probably going to be in the last because they gave us our
Yeah.
Crusade rules in a White Dwarf.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Drew.
Yeah.
Same question. You get to pick the
Okay.
big versus flagship box at the start of 11th. Who are the two new factions?
All right. Two factions. New Primaris scale Grey Knights. We come up with some kooky nonsense reason why, I don't know, they drank the Emperor's magic piss or whatever, and now they're Primaris Grey Knights. But they have a whole new model range where they are actually in scale with Primaris, but still retaining like that cool like the knight kind of look to them. And the other faction in the box is Dark Eldar, because we have not had a Dark Eldar in a starter box
minute.
since third baby,
edition.
and it's time, and they need new models. So let's give them some of the most kick-ass baseline troops we've ever seen, like really nice modular kits with lots of weapon options, like crisp detail, look clean, dynamic models that don't look goofy. Let's get some really, because we've had some really cool Dark Eldar stuff come up in the last 5 years, so we know they can do it, and I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Emmy,
All
do
right.
you flagship versus box for the start of 11th edition?
All right. Going from purely a marketing perspective, let's say 11th. My God, sorry, I'm still so sick. Let's say 11th edition comes out in 2027.
Okay.
Okay. that's what I'm like targeting with the hypotheticals here. It takes about 7 years for people to kind of cycle out of an interest or hobby almost completely. That's kind of like when burnout sets in. So that's putting us solidly right at the beginning of early 2020, right? So
Right.
we are at this point, I think, trying to cater to a new generation of people, hobbyists, or people who, for example, haven't engaged with the game since like maybe 7th edition or 9th edition, who might be cycling back in with 11th. How do we bring back old players? We truly put things online, like in terms of like, having your codex, and maybe we don't need to buy that. We'd still offer the book, but we're trying to create a box that appeals to both new players and nostalgic players, and offers a variety of different models to build, and sort of like gives people a feel for like what they might want to build, like if they go in with a buddy on it, right? Like that's what everybody does. So for those reasons, I'm picking orcs and Imperial Guard, because orcs are nostalgic, they're fun, they're goofy, they're always going to bring people in. There's always going to be that orc player in the group, so he will definitely go in on a box with you. Imperial Guard, we need to make them cool and sexy again. We need to soft soft launch the Vestroyans back into the game. I think politically it might be a little spicy to do that, but seeing how things work out in the next like 4 years, maybe now is a good time to bring back the Vestroyans while things are in the zeitgeist. It'd be fun, it'd be political, it'd be spicy. I think GW should do it. And we are going to give them cool new bike units, because what do orcs do? They aim badly and they ride little bikes. So we are giving Vestroyans bikes. We are going to have some rah rah Rasputin ass motorcyclists on the Imperial Guard side. And we're going to keep giving them the battle pugs, because those are great. Those are adorable. But maybe we go with Russian wolfhounds or something. But we're going to have dogs. We're going to have bikes. And that's the thing, right? We're going to get a good mix of infantry, bikers, and then we throw a tank on this side, and we throw one of those fun orc vehicles, like probably like a swig buggy or something on the other side, um, just to be comparable. And then it's like, do I want to build cavalry? Do I want to build infantry? Or do I want to build an army of mostly big mechs? Gives everybody a little variety, lore, flavor, model building wise. So that's my pitch for 11th edition.
I like it. I also like that it kind of gets to our core concept of I realize Space Marines are very obviously the poster boy, but as we've talked about in the early podcast, and as we've talked about as the new podcast, or the latest episodes of the podcast, the Guardsmen, the Orcs, and the Eldar are really the three entry points. Because if you ask questions or if you dig into the lore of any of those three races, you immediately get to like three more.
Yeah.
And it really is, the Guardsmen give you that really that this is me entry level. The Orcs give you that it's silly entry level, and the Eldar give you that the other spice of 40K, which is the high fantasy level.
I mean,
Space
I
Tiger.
agree. I just don't think that. I think there is a very practical reason why they always have Space Marines, and that's because they're the easiest to paint.
Yeah.
And what they want to do to pull people into the hobby is not give them models that are so complicated to get an okay paint job on that people give up. That's why
just saying, Grey
that's why I
Knights.
think they always have Space Marines.
You silver spray them. You hit them with some blue wash. You call it a day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I like I like the Grey Knights because I've got the box. What was the Grey Knights and Thousand Suns? They look so
Yeah.
goofy, and honestly, I think they're smaller. I need to dig them out. I think they're smaller than my 30K Horus Heresy Firstborn. Marines.
Grey Knights desperately need an updated line. Like, I'm sorry, I think was it Dread Knight?
The Nemesis
Yeah,
Dread
The
Knight.
Nemesis Dread Knight
Knight.
is really
goofy.
silly looking in my mind. So
They should
yeah.
make it like what's the Centurion armor? Is it Centurion?
Yes,
Where they've got the
Centurion armor.
Space
Centurion.
Marine
Yeah.
in the
In
Yeah,
the baby
it's-
carrier.
Yeah, it's a
in
Space
armor,
Marine.
but it's fully
yeah,
enclosed. Like,
Yeah.
his head sticks up, which is also silly.
yeah.
But at least he is fully enclosed in like the Centurion
Yeah.
armor, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's like putting on a 3-piece suit and then getting in a hazmat suit. Like
Yeah. It's
got layers.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think those are all. I mean, I like all of those boxes. I would have to think a little bit if you guys wanted me to answer any of these questions. Hit us up. Let us know if you guys want me to answer any of these
You
questions.
didn't give
and
us
we'll
any
do
time
it
to think.
in a future Patreon. Well, I'm not going to give myself time to think either. I'm going to let Emmy
Hot
blind
spots.
ask me.
Mm.
I'm not going to answer him now. Is what's going to happen. She's going to surprise me in the next couple of Patreons with these these 4 questions. But so what I did was I gave 500 points for based on the crazy scale of the game, 500 points for my vote, 500 points for our community's votes. So in first place, we have Ickbard with 15,551. In second place, we have Chalk with 14,915. So you guys are still pretty damn neck and neck. Drew in third place with a 13,268, and Emmy in fourth place with 11,754. So you guys all got at least 500 points from one of those. Some of you got 1,000 points from winning both my vote and the community vote. But yeah, guys, this is a little bit different. This is the first episode that you guys have caught. This is us having some fun. We went ahead and we live streamed this one. We had a couple of technical glitches because apparently my camera freaking updated this week. But generally speaking, we do not live stream. We are looking at kind of doing more live stream format stuff like this, where we either do a trivia show or we do a round robin or something like that as we present some information. So if this is something that you're interested in, please let us know and we will figure out how we could do a live stream show. It'd probably only be like once a month. We'll all be perfectly honest with you, but we're willing to entertain the idea. We hope you enjoyed this as a special. Merry late Sanguinilla, belated Sanguinilla, after Sanguinilla, whatever you say. If you want to get in touch with us about either this episode or the show itself, you can do that through email at underthehiveofmadness@gmail.com. You can also join our growing community on Discord and become part of the conversation about existing lore, world building, gaming, and much, much more. You can find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, or you can check out our website, underthehiveofmadness.com. We are going to continue with TikTok until the 11th hour. I think we've got some internal opinions here that it may not actually go away, so we don't want to like stop making TikTok content and then it doesn't actually get shut down. But you can also check out, if you want to get links to everybody's stuff, including Ickbard's, we will have link trees in the description and the show notes, so you can follow up with everything. You can help the podcast grow by liking and reviewing us wherever you get your podcast fix. Our home is Spotify, but you can find us on Audible, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, and so much more. Always, 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 our links and those spellings are in our show notes to make it as easy for you guys as we can. Lastly, if you would like to support us, you can do that at through Patreon at www.patreon.com/underthehiveofmadness. Some of the things that you get through Patreon is we have exclusive Patreon episodes. We also have video episodes of absolutely everything we do, so you can see our faces, you can see a little bit of behind the scenes, and you get a little bit more of an uncut experience. Plus there's a lot of other stuff going along, or not along, There's also a lot of other stuff going on there, so you can kind of get that feel. And if you want to know what an uncut episode is like, it's this one, because we did this one live. I'm not going to edit it. You guys are just going to get a direct feed of everything we do. Last
No.
but not least, we all have radio personalities, and we generally jump into our radio personalities at the beginning of the show and the end of the show. However, since this is kind of like a special trivia version, we didn't do any of that in this episode. So what we would like to say from you as 665.66 UHMR Chemrat Radio
And we're all sick.
No,
And we're all
I'm
sick.
gonna
dying.
die
And
coughing. Is do not touch those dials. I'm gonna redo all of that because I died in the middle.
not
And-
edited, my ass.
I know I'm not. I promise I'm not going to edit that out. So what we would like to say to you guys as 665.66 UHMR Chemrat Radio is that all of you Chemrats, hive mice, and some ghoulies need to stay right here. Do not touch those dials. Come back next week, same ratty frequency, for a dose of our same ratty ass attitude. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. As always, go out there and read some motherfucking lore.
And brush your goddamn teeth.
Stay hydrated,
Spain-
folks.
Spay and neuter your squigglins.
There you go. And may your dice always favor you. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Oh, man. The live stream thing is crazy.
That was interesting. That was
That
cool.